Hi everybody, it's Lori Bradley and I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and it is time for lunch with Lori. I can't believe that it is already May 28th and it is the last Monday, oh my goodness, yesterday was the Mondayest Tuesday of the whole year. Today's Wednesday, and it is the last Wednesday of May, and June actually starts this weekend. Isn't that crazy? I think that's a lot crazy. That time has flown by, and it's finally almost summer vacation at our house. Our youngest has 2 more finals to go, one Thursday and one Friday, and then I'm not going to say things calm down, but it'll be a little bit less stressful. Excuse me. Today I'm going to do a couple of simple cards. Actually, they're simple, and they use the new two-toned cardstock, and it's 12 by 12 cardstock. That is a little thinner than our regular cardstock, but a little thicker than the designer series paper. So it's kind of an in-between sort of weight. It's perfect for scrapbook pages. If you're a scrapbooker, this is the paper that is the most popular with Scrapbookers. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that we're going to do with it. The inside, so one side is a lighter shade, and the other side is the darker shade that actually matches whatever color cardstock. We actually have all of the Stampin' Up! Colors in the two-tone, which is amazing. So it matches any of the designer series paper, any of the ribbons. I always say it's granimals for kids, or crafters, not kids. Kids is what we used to wear, which I'm not even sure that's a thing anymore. But anyway, but the inside of the cardstock is a white core. And so we're going to take advantage of that white core in 2 of our cards today, just so you can see a little bit of the specialness of the cardstock. So let's make some cards. Let's turn around here really quick. Make sure we've got our camera in the right spot. All right. So the first card that we're going to do, I'm going to use Timid Tiger, and it's one of our new in-color. Actually, all 3 of my cards today are in-color cards. So this one is Timid Tiger, and I've already run my embossing folder through the Pressed Flowers embossing folder, which is a really pretty embossing folder. Actually, let me lay my cardstock in there so you can actually see it. And it speaks for itself. It's pretty all by itself. It doesn't need a whole lot of extra things added to it if you don't want to. It could be a simple card, and that's what we're going for today. So I have my Timid Tiger card base, and I am going to do that first. All right, now we're going to use a simple household tool, and you probably have it at some point somewhere in your house. You have a piece of sandpaper. Now you could use sandpaper, and I actually went downstairs to an old painting bucket, and I found this is 220 grit, so it's the fine sandpaper. You can see it's not very rough. But you could also use a sanding block like the nail salons use. You could use one of those if you have it. I just didn't have it, and I didn't have time to go to the store to get one. But just a simple piece of sandpaper. And so I just cut a little square off, and I'm gonna show you. Now when I ran the embossing folder, the cardstock through the embossing folder, sorry, the trash truck is out front, it already kind of makes it a little bit lighter. So you can see some of the flowers have a white top to them. I'm just going to take my sandpaper, excuse me, and I'm just going to very lightly, just rub over that. You can hear the ch-ch-ch, and you can see that it's just taking that light color, that light Timid Tiger color off of the top. And it's going to make it look a little bit weathered. You could do this with any embossing folder. I've seen it done with the plaid embossing folder, and it's so pretty. It just adds a little bit more depth to your embossing. Okay, you can see there's some white. I don't want to make it all white, but I just want to make sure that it's visible. It almost looks like the little white weed puffs that you see in the wild. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Now, I'm using a white matte for this because I want that white to pop. I don't want it to just blend in. I want that white to pop a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead, actually, before I glue it down, I'm going to add a ribbon. I have the Timid Tiger faux linen ribbon. If you don't have any of the new in color ribbon, it is awesome. It's light and it's easy to tie bows, and it comes in all the in colors, but I'm not actually going to tie a bow today because you'll be grateful for that, I'm sure. I'm just gonna wrap it around and I'm gonna tape it on the back. Just so I have a little row, a little oomph of ribbon, just to add something. Hi Monica, thanks for joining me today. I'm glad you're here because I'm gonna have an opinion question in a little bit, so hopefully you can answer it for me. I'm using the two-tone cardstock today, if you're just joining me, and it is lighter on the front, so there's the light color, and then there's the darker on the back. When you look at it, it kind of is in between that Timid Tiger. So there's the lighter color, the actual cardstock's a little darker, and then that one is almost exactly perfect. But I wanted separation, so that's why I'm putting the white cardstock between our embossed piece. Make sure, since it's a little bit wiggly because of the embossing folder, I wanted to make sure I put plenty of adhesive so that it lays down flat. Just gonna put that down. There we go. All right. And then that's going to go onto our card front. So there will be a separation between the two orange layers, the two Timid Tiger pieces. We could do that on dimensionals if we want, but I'm going to do the next layer on dimensionals. So see, that white layer on the inside just adds a little bit of separation between the oranges. So I've got my stylish shaped circle that I've already die cut, and I'm going to stamp "You're So Kind." Give me a little thank you note. I'm going to do that. Go over this way a little bit. I'm changing mine from my original one. Okay. And yes, I know that's not quite in the center. It's mostly on purpose. And I'm going to put that right here. Okay. We're going to pop that up on dimensionals because that is bumpy and we want to make sure that it sticks. All right. My dimensional back is stuck. Now I've got my words. Super simple, and I'm going to use the 2025-27 in color flat pearls. These are so pretty. We're going to use those on all of our cards today. So we've got the Secret Sea, the Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, and Strawberry Slush. I'm going to put my gems on my circle so they were a little more visible than my other ones. And then let's go ahead and put one. Oh man, where am I going to put this one? Yeah, look at it. Maybe look. You know what? I'm not going to put a big one. I'm going to do another small one. No, medium. Indecisive. Indecisive. And put one down here. So it's just a little circle, half circle of our gems. All right, so there's card number 1, the Pressed Flowers embossing folder with the Timid Tiger two-tone. And then we will move on to the next one. Our next card is also going to show that white inner core, and we're going to tear it. We're going to tear it so that we can see the inside, okay? This one I'm just going to make a note card, just a quick note card that says thinking of you. So I've got my note card. The note cards and envelopes are one of my favorite things because you can put those together really quick. The envelope comes with it. You don't have to go searching. It's all ready. All right, so I've cut 2 pieces of strawberry slush two-tone. I have a 3 1/4 by 4 3/4 panel, and then I have a 3 1/4 that's a little bit shorter. And the reason for that is I'm going to do this one a little bit different than I did my other one. I'm going to hold this one like this. I'm going to put the light colored strawberry slush on the upside, okay? And I'm going to stamp Thinking of You right at the bottom in the strawberry slush ink. And this could easily be adapted. You could, use the torn pieces on your scrapbook pages. You could use it on a larger card instead of the note card. Just a super simple technique. All right, so I'm going to put Thinking of You right here. All right, got the Thinking of You with the lighter colored on the two-tone. You can see the ink. If I stamped it on this one, it won't be quite as visible, but I'm going to show you what I want to do with that. I'm going to stamp the flowers, and the flowers I'm using and the stars I'm using on the next card are from the With You in Mind stamp set. I'm going to use the star and the heart, or not the heart, the flower. I don't know my shapes. And the words for all 3 of my cards today come from The Right Words. It's just a nice stamp set with lots of multi-occasion words. So that's what I'm using for my words today. But I'm going to stamp strawberry slush flowers all over the top of this strawberry slush cardstock. And we're doing tone on tone all the way down. Put as many as you want, doesn't matter. Put a little tiny one right there. Okay, so we have our flowers. Now, I'm going to adhere this to this piece, but I'm going to tear it. I'm just going to start over here, and I'm going to go one direction. Make sure you go all in one direction. There's no right tearing or wrong tearing. So we've got that white line right along the middle. Unfortunately, we can't flip it over. We could actually flip it over and use this side if we so chose. For another card, we could do it on the darker strawberry slush, but I'm going to do it on this one. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp just a couple of those flowers right here on the lighter pink. So it all blends together. It's just the 2 tones of the cardstock. All right, then we're going to glue this piece that we've torn. My adhesive is stuck. The other one. My goodness, I'm struggling. What did I do? All right, if all else fails, we grab our green glue, which is probably my favorite anyway. But I will point out, some people are green glue lovers and some are green glue haters. If you hate the green glue, my guess is that you're probably using too much. You see this tiny little line of glue? You just want like a little pencil line, because if you put a big blob, it gets messy and you can't control it. It gets all over you, your things, everywhere. So we've got that. There we go. And then we're going to glue that onto our strawberry slush cardstock. And try this again. If I had my silicone, there we go. If you have a silicone mat, that is perfect for getting that adhesive to start rolling again. Sometimes it acts crazy and doesn't want to do that. All right, and then I'm going to just put that onto the strawberry slush. We could also use a white piece. If I had, if my card wasn't white, I could have done a white border, so it would have stood out a little more as well, but I didn't. So we're just going to go with it as is, and we've got our 2-tone strawberry slush. Again, a simple card that makes it easy to put together. A cute little card just to say I'm thinking of you. And then we'll put a few strawberry slush gems on here. And how about, these are kind of close to the edge, but how about if we just put one in each flower center at the top? And just use those for our flowers. Again, simple, but the gems Add a little zhuzh to it. Take your pick tool is perfect for picking those off of your thing. And there you go. You know what? Let's just keep going. Let's use all the strawberry slush gems today. Let's put one here and one here. It takes a simple card to a super fun, elegant card. And you never know where, we probably could put one there, but we don't want to stamp because it'll stamp over the white piece. So we have the two-tone, you can see the two tones, or we have just the line through the middle. All right, card number 3. We're going to use the third piece, third color. We're going to use Secret C two-tone cardstock. This one I'm a little nervous about because I think I'm going to flip it to the other side. But I have, okay, here's going to be your choice. If you're watching, I'd love to have your opinion. All right, I did this monotone. I did the stars with the Secret C. This is the two-tone Secret C cardstock. But I think what I want to do is, I have a couple of friends who have birthdays near the 4th of July. So I think instead of using the Secret C card base this time, I think I want to use a real red. So if you have an opinion, real red card base or a Secret C, we might go ahead and put this together and see, and lay it on both just to see. But be thinking about that, real red or Secret C, okay? Now, for this one, I'm actually going to do this one the opposite of what I did this one as well. What I did for this one, I stamped my stars on the dark side. This time I'm actually going to stamp it on the lighter side. So I'm going to take my Secret C ink and I'm going to stamp these stars all over the lighter piece, lighter side of the cardstock. I'm just going to stamp those willy-nilly, kind of like we just did the flowers. We just used the stars on one of my cards for my card class yesterday. I kind of like these. However, my ladies were not happy that they had to cut some of them out with scissors. I didn't make them cut fancy flowers. I just made them cut straight edge little stars, but they got kind of fussy with me. So I learned my lesson to not have them fussy cut because, you know, they get fussy. So that's the name fussy cut, I guess. All right, now I'm going to fold this piece back. I'm going to fold this corner back so we can see both sides of this cool cardstock. I want the bottom edge to be straight, so I'm going to start with that edge. There's no right or wrong where it goes, but I just want it to be perpendicular, or not perpendicular, parallel to the bottom piece, okay? I'm just going to fold it. I tried it originally with a ruler and I scored it and it didn't work for me. So, all right, so I have this piece that looks like this, real red. All right, Susan, we will real red it. We'll make it look like a patriotic birthday card. All right, so then, all right, next opinion. Should I make this word red or should I use the Secret C ink? Pick your color for just a second. I'll grab the real red ink in case you say real red. And if you still think Secret C, then we will use Secret C. Now, I'm going to go ahead, I think, and do a couple of stars on this piece, just on that section. So I'm going to take it off of there because I don't want it to get onto my... A couple of stars. There we go. Those almost look like they're in line. All right, Monica says red. All right, so we're switching the cardstock. Now, I don't want to glue this down yet because I don't want to mess it up. I have to clean my stamp really quick. Susan, I'm not sure if you just joined me, but I did just mention how I made my ladies in class yesterday fancy cut these stars out and how they were so unhappy with me. You might have some, opinion on that. All right, so I'm going to real red stamp happy birthday. Now, I'm just laying this because I want to stamp the happy birthday to go along that edge, right along there. I have to move it a little closer so I can actually see it. And I don't want to glue that down because if I glue it down, then I'm out of luck if I've got it all crooked. I think that's good. All right, now, put this piece down. Yes, this adhesive's acting cantankerous today. What is the letter? Yes, this is Secret C. Secret C. We could use, if I had Night of Navy, I have several of the colors of two-tone cardstock. We're going to do some scrapbooky things. But right now I don't have Night of Navy, so I'm using the Secret C. Now I'm just going to put this piece down, and I think I want it to be up just a little bit. So let's put a dimensional underneath there. Instead of a adhesive, let's just dimensional that, just so that sticks up just a little bit. There we go. A little bit more 3D that way. And we will put this onto a red card base. We'll see what we think. And then we'll embellish it with the Secret C gems. It was not fussy cutting, it was fancy cutting. Oops, oops, oops. Can't lay it on your adhesive. It was fancy cutting. It was making it look very fun. And it was stars. They were straight edge. They weren't even flowers that were super fancy to cut out. So, all right, so I'm going to take 2 Secret C gems. I'm going to put one on each end just to frame our words there. There we go. Then I have a piece for the inside, and I'm going to stamp that also. And it says, to someone we're celebrating every single day. So let's go ahead, stamp the inside. And, you know, probably we should add another star or 2 to the inside just to make it more fun. Right? How about that? We'll put that on the inside. And I have one of my patriotic birthday cards done for July 4th. So I got blue Secret C ink on my finger. Goodness gracious, make sure I wipe that off. Alright, so the two-tone cardstock is 12 by 12, which means that you got more in the package. It's a bigger package. If you cut your panels at 4 by whatever, then you'll get 6 per page. And it's just a lot of fun. So this is the two-tone. That's the last one we did. The two-tone, the darker with the lighter. And the darker is actually more what the actual cardstock looks like. I do like the red. So we've got that one. This one, I did the two-tone strawberry slush with the white core showing with the tearing. And then we put the gems on there. Like I said, just a fun thinking of you card. And then this one, we used sandpaper. And if you have sandpaper, I would use very, very fine sandpaper to get that white core to show through. And if you don't have sandpaper and you get your nails done or you have an emery board, just something to rough that up just a little bit, just to get that top layer of color off of the cardstock. So there we have it. 3 different ways to show that two-sided cardstock. So I will be back next Wednesday, but after that, the 2 Wednesdays, June 11th and June 18th, I will not be live those 2 weeks. We won't have any lunch. My husband and I will actually be on vacation, and we'll be actually out of the country. So I will pop on occasionally and show you some of the fun things we're doing. But for June 11th and June 18th, I will not be here. So we will. Hi, Robin. Thanks for joining me. after that, I will show pictures and all the fun things, and then we'll get back to it at the end of June, beginning of July. So I will see you all next week for Lunch with Lori, and I hope that you all have a great week. I'll see you next week. Thanks.